I get shit done, I have fun. It's my time and I'm the one. I'm breaking through.
Change your world, it will change your life. Interesting topic. I'm looking forward to exploring that and sharing some insights that I've had over my life on this life journey, because it is a journey, not a destination. Change your energy, it will change your life. So if you're watching this live with us today, thank you for being here. Really appreciate that. And if you're unable to do that and catch us on the replay, just let us know, #replay, and where you're watching us from. If you ever have a question that you want to address, have talked about on the Business Renovator, also let us know. Also, another ask is to share or subscribe, actually both, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That would be brilliantly a brilliant thing, as Michael Heppel would say. Be brilliant. So that would help me get the word out there and get more people watching and learning from the guests that show up. Today, there's no guests, just a bunch of thoughts and ideas. So before I get crazy and get into what I'm going to talk about today, I want to do a plug for my business, myself and my peers. Well, sorry, I get carried away. That new tune that we've got in the background, there's got a bit of a bounce to it. So it was a great way for me to start my morning. And I hope it has a similar sort of impact for you. And yes, what's your business growth score? It's a free assessment. It's really easy to get to. The web address is there, coachphil.ca. Click on the top right-hand corner on my website, and you'll have access to the business growth score. You can check in and see where you feel you are in your business. And if you're doing great after you've done it, awesome. And if you have a question you want to ask, you can reach out and email me. Information's there. No credit card required. It's absolutely free. Anyway, let's talk about what today's about. I'm going to reference a few books that have had an impact, not all the books, but a few, and the reasons why. And I want to do that because, if you read a book or watch a podcast or take a webinar, go to a seminar, all of those things will help change your energy. And if you change your energy, then things can be either good or bad. I guess it's dependent on where you change your energy to. T. Harv Eker, who has a really succinct quote, I just love it. I use it a lot. It says, "Where thoughts go, energy flows and results show." And if you don't like the results you've got, then maybe if you were to change your thoughts, as we're saying here, change your energy, it will change your life. Then Harv Eker's on the right path, right idea, right philosophy. I think he is, matter of fact. We can go as far back as 1937, when Napoleon Hill first published his first writings in and around the Think and Grow Rich principles, laws, success laws, whatever you want to call them. And he did a bunch of interviewing, and he changed his energy. I believe it was 500 individuals that he had interviewed over the 20-year period of time. And his research and his work showed up in Think and Grow Rich and the Laws of Success book. And he also has another one. I was just looking over there to see if I can read it. How to sell your way through how to sell your way through life. That's what it's called. Sorry for being off camera. My video coach would be, if he was in my city, he'd be smacking me on the side of the head. Look at the camera. Look at the camera. Anyway, I just wanted to share that book because it's a fabulous book. Jeffrey Gittimer recommended that one. He's a huge fan of the Hill's writing as well. But this is not just about Hill, but it's about the energy of Hill. And what he talks about in his writings, in his research, what he came up with, it relates to the topic we're talking about today, and that is change your energy, it will change your life. The first part that he talks about are that our thoughts are actually things. And I know Bob Proctor, when he was doing his teaching and coaching in and around this law of vibration, law of energy, he would talk about this thing here. He said it's always been there. This is a smartphone, right? And it said it's always been there. He's said it's always been out there in the Ethernet, not the internet, but the Ethernet. And in the Ethernet, there's a whole bunch of great things. So the ideas of man came together and created the smartphone. Now, the first one that came out wasn't all that smart, and mine's still on, so we're dinging. Somebody's texting me, and just made me lose my train of thought. It changed my energy. Look at that. So if you change your energy, you'll change your life. That just changed me for a little bit, distracted me. Anyway, the phone started off with first an idea and then morphed into what it is today. The first phones were like in a bag with a battery and quite heavy and clunky and didn't reach very far. And from there, they morphed into what we have today, which has a lot more energy and power and benefits than mainframe technology that I used to sell many decades ago. And, in the mainframe world, you needed a room, air conditioning, humidifier, and pressurized, and it couldn't even take a picture. So change your energy, it will change your life. One of the other things that Think and Grow Rich talks about is the desire. If you've got a white hot burning desire, which is not necessarily the first thing that you have, but when you start thinking about it, it'll move you towards the desired end result that you want and turn on the creative juices that'll help you get there. Without desire, we really don't have anything. Another mentor of mine taught me along the way that we think in 3D actually, and the first part of the three-dimensional thinking is we get a thought, an idea. So first starts with a thought, which correlates with what Think and Grow Rich talks about as well. And then we get a picture of it. It might be really foggy, might be vivid, depending on how committed you are to it or how large your desire is. But don't worry about that. As you create the picture, you'll move to the emotional state of feelings, and the energy will increase there. And the more we do that, we go in this cycle, and the emotion gets us thinking more thoughts get more clarity, and the clarity provides more vividness in the picture, and the picture creates more energy. And as you keep on doing this and thinking about it, you're going to change your energy, you're going to change your state. And if you do that, when you do that, not if you do that, but when you do that, your life will change along with it, because the things you think about will be different. Wayne Dyer talks about that. Change what you think about, and what you think about will change. It's all about thoughts and energy. Energy is everything. Imagination is the biggest nation in the world. I don't know if you knew that or not. It's not landmass. It's not population. It's in our minds. It's our imagination. Whatever we can think about and believe, we can pretty much bring to fruition. Go back to the smartphone. It showed up because of that same kind of law of life force energy. Another way that Hill talks about it in his writings is the sexual transmutation life force energy. We all have that. Trees have that. If you've ever chopped down a tree, like a poplar, and where I live, we don't have a lot of trees, so they were putting in trees that grew fast, and poplars were very fast growers, which was great because they grew fast, and in the prairies, that was nice. However, the flip side to that was, because they grew fast, when you tried to weed them out, cull them out, the root system would sucker and trees would come out of that. So the life force energy is there in everything and everybody. So what's your energy like? Is it moving you deliberately towards who you want to become and what you want to experience, or is it holding you back? If you change your energy, you'll change your life. So the first book I had on Think and Grow Rich, I've just got the cover here at the moment. You can see it's tattered and torn, and I actually had it what they call surlocks. And the reason being is it was quite thick, and I was writing in it, and and highlighting in it. making notes in it, and it fell apart. But there's a lot of nuggets in this book. You don't have to get this particular one. You can get a easier to hold, easier to read one, Think and Grow Rich. So the words that we have in our head is what shows up on the outside. Another fabulous book in and around changing your energy and changing your life is Psychocybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. He also is a forefather and probably best known for his understanding self-image. If we change how we see ourselves will make a huge impact on how we live our life. So if you're see yourself as somebody who's highly efficacious, confident, able to get stuff done, that's the way you'll show up. If you see yourself as living a sense of scarcity and opportunities are for everybody else but not you, that's probably what will show up for you. So this is another great book. Maxwell Maltz was an amazing individual. He was originally a plastic surgeon, and what he found was that people that he had done the plastic surgery on, a nose job or removed a scar or whatever it might have been, or they were not happy after the surgery, and he couldn't understand that. So he paid attention to it and studied psychology. And what he figured out after all of that was that there isn't a surgery in the plastic surgery side, or a scalpel in the plastic surgery side, that can change as effectively as a scalpel in the psychology side. So if you change how you see yourself on the inside, it'll change on how you see yourself on the outside. It goes back to change your energy. It will change your life, change your thinking. It'll change your life. Brian Tracy, who I'm a fan of, and one of his certified business coaches and facilitators of his teachings and trainings, that he's written now 91 books, and I'm holding one of them in my hand. And this one is called Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life. Same theme. I just wanted to let you know that there's more than one way to get the information to help you change your energy, change your life. He says in this book, it says it's about unlocking your full potential for success and achievement by changing your thinking and moving towards a newer life. So how do you want to show up in your life? What do you want it to look like? And last but not least is another really good book. This one's hard to get hold of. And if you do, it's usually fairly expensive. So I bought, I think I had bought 4, and I've gifted out 2, and I've kept the other 2. But this was a mentor of mine that helped me take a lot of the things that I learned and experienced from the Think and Grow Rich world and Maxwell Maltz's Psychocybernetics. And this book is A Better World, A Better You. And again, in here, it's talking about changing what you think about, changing your energy. So I did a little bit of sleuthing and I did some research on Google, which is apparently talking to scientists is not true research, but there is some pretty good information. And some of it's actually accurate and truthful. And I wanted to know what the experts on Google would say. What would I show up? So when I did my search on Google, what they talked about was everything has a vibration, everything has an energy level, and so everything is energy. What I discovered was that there's a 432 hertz frequency that they say helps our bodies. So the 432 frequency music heightens perception, increases the mental clarity of a person, and unlocks intuition. Generally, this is solfeggio, I think I pronounced that right, frequency, has been proven to be a healing frequency since it reduces anxiety, lowers the heart rate and blood pressure. I thought, well, that was pretty fascinating, because if you change your energy, you're changing your life. So here was a frequency with a number and factual. And it reminds me, I was working in a city north of me where I live. I'm in Canada, and I was doing some work. Well, I'm not doing some work. I was working out of another city. And in the office that we had up there, part of the architectural decor had this huge pipe. I mean, massive pipe. Massive for inside. It wasn't massive for outside. Probably a 20-inch diameter, and it was steel, and it was sealed at both ends. And I hit it one day at a workshop we were doing on purpose. I didn't run into it and have an accident. It was a deliberate attempt to hit it, and I hit it. And it gave out it resonated a tune. And I took a guess that it was a D in terms of the note it was putting out there. And somebody in that same training came back the next day with tuning forks. And lo and behold, it was a D. Now, I think that was a lucky guess uh, because I'm not a musician, but I just guessed. And that's actually what it was. I also heard a story, have not experienced this myself, but they say, I tend to believe it to be true, but they say if you have two pianos in close proximity where the sound vibration waves can be connected to each other, but they're not in the same room, but they're close. If you hit, say, a D, that sound will resonate and reverberate on the other piano, and it will vibrate at the same level of the same scale D that the original piano was hit, the key was hit. So everything is energy, everything is vibration. So how are you vibrating today? Are you vibrating at a high level or low level? What do you do to change your state? That's one of the things that we do with the business renovators. We talk about mental fitness. Mental fitness is really all about changing our state, getting out of our saboteur mind and getting into our sage mind. So looking for and changing our energy to a positive, more optimistic space and living there more often versus hanging out in the woe is me space. So if that intrigues you, if you're interested, again, send me an email. I'll happy to send you a complimentary assessment so you can find out what your 10 saboteurs are and learn more about what I'm talking about in terms of mental fitness. Anyway, I just wanted to come on for a few minutes and talk to you about the topic of changing your energy because it will change your life. I could go on and tell you some examples where that has happened with me, but I'm looking at the time here and it's time to end the show. However, if you do want to know what that is and you'd like to have a conversation, shoot me an email. Let's have a, 10 to 15 minute virtual coffee meeting and get to know each other, see how we can serve, and let's vibrate at a higher level together. Let's move on to one of my favorite things to do is to remind you. I'm going to do it a little bit different today. Normally I do this, but today I'm going to do it differently. I'm going to do, well, not that. I'm going to do this. Look at that. Be wonderful. The you in wonderful represents you. You are unique and you are the only one like you. Just like a fingerprint, there's only one. Just like that, or a snowflake. So go out and be your wonderful self. And my video coach would be telling me, don't put anything over your face. Well, it's too late. I've done it. So until next time, until we meet again, remember to be wonderful. And how are you vibrating? What are you looking forward to? Go after what you really, really want. Don't settle.
I get shit done, I have fun. It's my time and I'm the one. I'm breaking through.